We are very glad to have invited us with Lillian, and we are going to share with you very quickly about family enterprise as a couple. So we are going to talk about business as a couple. We do business, and we shall share that. And we want you by the end of this evening that, and we are going to be successful on that. That one I can assure you, is that we want you to know that the business of a Christian should be different from these other businesses you see in town, of these thugs, especially the thuggery ones. And we don't want you to be part of that. Because when you do a business as a family, as you're going to see, those businesses normally outlive you, and we shall even give you names of those people. Some of them who are not even Christians, but are overdoing you. And this is a shame on Christian couples. So we are going to be very fast and say that the family, as you know, is under attack. The family is under attack. You all know it. One is that there is less time for the man to talk now to the wife, and the wife talk to the husband. Children they are just on their own. So the devil is now the one which is filling that gap. So our families are under attack. Praying and altar have diminished. Joint planning is interpreted as those who come from not serious families, that the husband has been bewitched. Why is the husband talking to the wife every time? And the man has become a handbag. So this man has been bewitched. This is shameful if you are part of that stupid discussion. And that's what the devil is doing. So the family is under attack. There is increase in the secrecy of transactions. And I would really want to implore you here that if you are in that category, then you are in the wrong place. You are not espousing what Christian values are, because a Christian couple is not supposed to do things in secret. And we shall tell you here, Lillian is here, she will testify before you here whether I can do something in secret, whether I can get a loan in secret which she doesn't know, whether I can do business in secret, whether I can buy a plot in secret, where she doesn't even have her, she can testify to you whether we have any small land that the God has given us, and she doesn't appear there. What kind of Christianity are you espousing? She's here. Or whether we can write any check which doesn't know. On all accounts, she is either of the two. It is not even necessary to say both of you. If you say both of you, you are at the first level of fulfilling what we want. But the real reconciled couple is either of you. Not even both of you signing on the check. Either of you. The only thing you require is information. And that's what it is. But transactions have increasingly become secretive, and if you are doing like that, then you need to move at a relatively higher level. Then what is investment and business in a Christian family, in a Christian perspective, is that if you cease to do doing business, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, is the richest person now in the world doing business. Sudhir and Justina are doing business. Bill Gates and Melinda, his dear wife, they are doing business. We are also doing business. You are doing business. Why don't you ask yourself? And we are going to talk very quickly, finish, and then we come to discussion, which will be more interesting. Why do you think some people get the same amount of money, but other people's money grow, yours is not growing? Is it that your stepmother bewitched you also? Those who believe in your stepmother bewitched you. No, there are certain principles which people follow. And principle number one, because of lack of time, we are also Rotarians. And we are going to speak as Rotarians also. Rotary will never have time. And if you cannot say what you want to say in 10 minutes in Rotary, then you have nothing to say. But what have I said? What are we telling you? That a family which is doing business secretly by either of the couple, that business does not last. That's the statement we have made, the first statement. So a business which outlives you and your children, to have old money, to have what you call old money, Because most of the money we have in Uganda here, I've told your president and your cabinet many times there at the cabinet library. They normally invite me to advise your PSs and the cabinet. Is that the money we have is very young money. And the country, if we had the time, I would have shown you a model of 192 countries here, which I've been doing research on. All those 192 countries, no country has ever had all the money without seriously looking at the family. Countries, including these Eastern Asian tigers, where Christianity, there is no Christianity there. But they also realize that it's important to work as a family. Actually, their homes are called functional homes. And the husband works with a wife. And they're not saved. They have never heard about salvation. But they have heard that that's the way to go. And how about you now, who listen to it every day? Let's not shame the values we have got from being Christians. Number one is that when you are doing business as a couple, you are stewards. You are very, very different from these people you see on the Kampala Road, these thugs. You are very, very, very different from these thugs. For you, you are holding that business as a steward. Stewardship means you are doing something on behalf of another. What does that mean? It means that, therefore, the decisions you make must be decisions done after very good consultation, and therefore they are spiritual decisions. These are things, something you pray about. Then what does it mean? It therefore means that what you do in that business is a spiritual barometer for your family. How is the professor? Professor is selling, these days what does he sell? He's owning a bar. He has a club. And they have put red lights. That's where prostitution is taking place. We are making a lot of money. This is what you want. This is how we are going to measure your money you are earning. And yet you are a Christian couple who is going on Holy Communion. You are the one promoting prostitution. But the money is being made there. And this is what it is. Is that stewardship? As a couple, there are businesses which we don't expect you to do despite the amount of money that those businesses make. So businesses, we are going to elaborate them with the businesses you can do. And businesses which are barometers for the measure of your spiritual life and the decisions you make that people want to say, I want to be like Professor. I want to be like Baram. Why do you want to be like Baram? Why do you want to be like Professor? It means in wanting to be like so and so, is there is some value you want from there, and that's what our businesses are about. Fundamentals, and this is the most important slide, even if we sit down after that. What are the fundamentals of a family enterprise? And statement number 2 is that family enterprise is built on a husband being a wife's project. And a wife is a husband's project. Even if we didn't make another statement here. Statement number 2 and number 3 is that the husband who, if you are seated here and you are a husband, the wives should look at you, just look at your husbands, that is your project. Wives. And then the husbands who are here, the wife is your project. Unfortunately, we go into blame games instead of working on the wife. And the wife works on the husband. And I think she's going to have time to give a testimony of how we have done that. I will tell you that she has told you she's a chartered accountant, but she's from science. She not do BCom. She doesn't have a BCom degree. Actually, her first degree is botany and zoology. But I remember when we were getting married, I asked her one question: can botany and zoology put food on the table? Will put food on the table much quicker. Then we changed completely. I said, what can we do? And we are doing a business. How can we do? Are we going to bring foreigners in people running our money, some more money we are making? We said no. Is it very difficult to go to at that time it was Matt, just around the New Vision. She went there. Things were so hard. I was doing a PhD. I thought PhD was hard. The things they were doing were harder 10 times than a PhD. And she did it and qualified. We supported her, she's not there. It was a young couple, but we worked on these children. We understand, mommy has gone, she will come back. On Saturday, she's not there. On Sunday, they are studying on Sunday after church until she finished. Even now she's doing a master's. Today, I think her supervisor has just sent her a message when we were coming to come and see that she has read through. Isn't it still in his pigeon hole? She's still doing to ensure that she can reach at the pinnacle of finance. And we have been doing it in turns. When she finished that, I also said, now, are you the one who's going to know this statement of financial position, statement of comprehensive income, those who are finance people, statement of change of equity? These are people who come at Riv and then start confusing me with those ones. I said, can I remain in this confusion? She said, no. Do you know what you need to do? There is a SAMI program. She said, why don't you? Because it is near your office. You don't even need a car. It's just at Bombo Road, near that Mandela Oil. So I went there on her advice and did a master. Even after becoming a professor. Even after becoming a professor. I went there, sat in front, did the MBA, finance, finished it. Completely finished it. Just on her advice. That's how you build each other as a couple. And then you do business. There's nobody who can come as an auditor and lie us. Tell us lies in whatever we are doing, that your business is not doing this, or it is doing this, income is this, profit is this, assets are this, and so on. So you have to make sure you are not blaming your wife. Wives, don't blame your husband. The husband is your project. The wife is the project of the husband. Even if we didn't say anything here, that's what we have said this evening. Money. What is money? What is money? Is that money, those who have understood a little bit of elementary economics, is for three purposes: transactional, speculative, and precautionary. So money is a very good thing, but to take precaution, you can buy a product which somebody is selling immediately, or you can transact and buy a bag of cement and build your apartments. All these things need money. But the money in a Christian home should not bring misery. For us, that's how we should be different. If we were miserable, would you have invited us? And would you have guts to come? Because the small man has made us miserable, and I've got a second wife because you have got the money. This is what I see men in Kampala. There are certain places where you pass and never pass in a place unnoticed. That's what Maroba Chimbiri told me. Never pass in a place without leaving a trail. So the trail which I want to leave is that when you get money, you get money you leave your homes. This is not money. That's not the purpose of money. Purpose of money is a tool for creating happiness and for a family to grow. And the Bible is very clear, especially in Psalms 24, that money is important, but you are a steward to look after that money, and the decisions you make on that money are very important decisions which show your spiritual barometer, which show how you use that money is when we know these people are Christians, these people are driven by the devil, and the devil has taken a gap created by Satan who has entered now. The man got more money. When they were poor, they were together. When they were poor, they were together. They didn't have a car. They are using one umbrella in wind, and they are going, holding each other in an umbrella. Then they buy one car, one is waiting for the other. Then they buy two cars. It's not necessary now. One is going alone. Then they start saying, okay, you can go to the other place, you do gym. I'm going to say another one, it is okay, you shall come home. Is that the kind of testimony you want? So, where's the last one? Income. Now, income as a family and a couple, income is not wealth. Income is just a flow concept. Wealth is a stock of capital. Income only translates into wealth when you use that income very well, according to principles which you have agreed as a couple. But income will create problems if you misuse it without having specific values as a Christian. And therefore, it is important to know that you need more ways which are bringing money in your home and have fewer which are taking out that money. That's why you see those who come from Kabale, that Lake Bunyonyi has never dried. If you have ever been in Lake Bunyonyi, you see what has gone down, put up your hand. If you are more intelligent than God, put up your hand. God knew that Lake Bunyonyi's water cannot, and it is formed differently. Lake Victoria is formed through downwarping. Lake Bunyonyi is formed through tectonism, faulting. If you remember your physical geography, those who have done HSC. Both of them made differently. However, God, in his metaphysical understanding, which is beyond our understanding, unless you have also been reconciled. In 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 17, God says, I will destroy your wisdom which you are pretending to have. But God's wisdom is power, especially of understanding how these things work. And Lake Victoria, Lake Bunyonyi, the water has never gone down. And the answer is simple, which is here. That the water which comes, the rivers which go into this Lake Victoria and Lake Bunyonyi are more than the rivers which are getting out the water. If you don't do that, and the water is coming in, there's no river which gets out, it also becomes, that kind of lake becomes dead. That's why you have dead sea. That's why Lake Victoria cannot be dead. Lake Victoria, there is fish. And the water is not salty. But if you have money again, that it is only for you, you don't never want to help anyone, that's dead money. That's a statement we have made. It's dead money. Let's not have dead money. Have money which is alive and which is old and can be transmitted. And that's why you have my friend Mayuni in Kachira Sugar Works. Mayuni is not the son of Murujubai. Never. He's a good first generation from Murujubai. But he's here. And the Bahindi's money, that's why the Bahindi's money is intergenerational. There is a restaurant in Japan which is 700 years and it has not expanded in size, but the restaurant is one of the best restaurants in Japan. 700 years. Tell me a business here of 10 years which transcends the owner. Tell you. Let us be serious as Christians. And I've told your president many times and the cabinet that if they continue joking around, that he can transform this Uganda on money which is young, money which is stolen. You cannot transform a country through that process. Countries which have transformed, countries like Bangkok, Thailand, Bangkok, capital of Thailand, Singapore, South Korea, where there is no Christianity, also know that these things that have made them transform their economies is a husband working with a wife. They call them functional homes. She was there. She was in Bangkok, she will tell you. And they understand that this money is for us. It's a functional home. The home is doing business. Business is ours. There is no word like I. But you see, look among yourselves. How many eyes have you said this today? How many eyes? And Malcolm X tells you that when you change I, do you know the word illness? How do you spell the word illness? I, double L, N, E, double what? Now, you replace now I with we. And if you think very quickly, stand up and tell us the word. The word becomes what? Wero. Who is more intelligent than Malcolm X here? If you are more intelligent than Malcolm X, put up your hand and stand up and you have guts. Malcolm X, I don't know whether he was saved, but this also was his thinking. Malcolm X is one of also the people with Martin Luther Jr., who were in American black movement that eventually liberated to have people like Obama. That's how these Obamas came up. But these were not Christians, but they also knew what to do. So please make sure that you can understand what income is, what money is, what dead money is, what old money is, what younger money is, and how it can be transmitted. If you have understood that, then your head will be liberated. Your family will be liberated. When you are entering our house, we live in Ibukoto, on the left part of the main door entrance, there is a poster which we have there. You know the poster which we have there. It is saying, it is, and I will recite it, the whole of it. It is Psalms 37. I want everybody actually to write that. If I miss any single word, I will not miss any single word, not even a letter. And it begins like this, that do not fret because of evil men, nor be envious of those who do wrong. For like green grass, that's King James Version. International Version says, like green plants, they will wither. Some IVs, so like morning dew, they will dry away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy the good pasture. Delight yourselves. Let me ask God to give me permission now to add between the husband and wife. Delight in the Lord, the husband and the wife, and he will give you the desires of your family. That's, the Bible says heart. Then put and add in your family. If that heart which the Bible is talking about is a family concept we are talking about here, is that the interpretation is very simple. Why are you stressed? Do you see me stressed? Do you see us really stressed? That we are very stressed people. But we deal with URA. At one time she will tell you we had 200 million of URA which was not paid. We had to run to EcoBank to get a loan. How do we get this 100 million? We had done VAT very badly. We made a mistake in computation of VAT. We also get all problems. I was with the Seroma in the morning with Colonel Sekide and Margaret, his dear wife. And we were sharing with the Gondan 10 day. They had, in the morning, they had selected the top executives in the Kampala. They called me to speak to them. And I was telling Sekide and Margaret, the dear wife, don't you have problems in Seroma, schools, Seroma, cement? Why are we buying your cement? Do you know that you have the largest sales, Robert Kano? What is the secret that you are the one where everybody is buying cement? Because we all knew that Seroma was the one selling 50 bags, and it is 50 kilos of that cement. And as a result of that, he sells the large, just go to his books of accounts. He makes the large, that's how God, that's how God rewards you when you are doing good things. And then you freed. Some of us studied English from far. That's when I would normally tell Muhakanis in our Secretary and Minister of Finance. That, you know, Chris, some of us studied English from far. So the word freed is F-R-E-T, which means, those who have studied in good schools, it simply means do not envy so and so. The ladies who are here, do not nag. These men who are here don't like nagging wives. And these men who are here, the wives who are here also don't like nagging husbands. So don't nag your wife, don't nag your husband. You do not fret because you don't know what these people who built this house, where they got the money from. These ones, they could have stolen the money to buy this car, to put these children in this school. How many people are in Makerere have gone to Makerere? In the faculty of law, in the faculty of science, in the medical school, faculty of technology, faculty of education, faculty of... all these people are coming from Budo? All of them are coming from King's College Budo. Did I go to King's College Budo? Now, as these little minutes you have heard from me, you think I do not know how to really address people? I cannot address a very serious meeting. But did I need to go to Budo? Did I need to go to Budo? Ladies, did you need to go to Gayaza? Where you are, God has the purpose of putting you there. And you can compete with those people. I've been challenging people who went to Budo. You come, if you know how to talk English and to talk about economics, you come and we debate here. Nobody comes. Just no. You girls who have been in Namagunga, you come here, the people will give us marks. Nobody. When the president came, the queen came in the I'm just finishing. Mr. Chairman, I'm just finishing in 2 minutes. When the queen came here in 2007, in November, I just laughed. I've forgotten her name. Our deputy for Johnny Mitara. You know that lady? She's the deputy head of civil service. A very wonderful lady. She was our president of the Commonwealth also in London. They looked who is going to talk with the Queen. The Queen has come. There is invited 54 presidents. What shall we do? Who is going to summarize Uganda's performance since independence to 19 to Chogam? And you summarize Chogam, all these 54 countries. The paper was how Commonwealth countries have transformed human, economic, and political development. They ran up and down. This Oprodi, he was at that time in foreign affairs. Eventually, can you clap for God? Then I will tell you. Just give God a very hand clap and then tell you. Mrs. Musubire, even the name has come. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Even the name has come. Mrs. Musubire is on my door. Professor, cabinet has agreed. You must be the one to summarize. Cabinet of Uganda of 72 ministers and His Excellency the President have agreed. You are the one to summarize Uganda's performance and explain to 54 presidents, including Queen Elizabeth, how Uganda has. What do you want God to do for you? What do you want God to do for you? What do you want God? Is that okay? Tell me if corruption. If you want corruption, okay, you pay money. They will invite you. Okay, you pay money. They will invite you. Do not fret because of evil what? Evil men. No, be envious of those who are doing wrong. You do your right thing, you are going to enjoy what? Life. And that's what we are going to tell you. You do your right thing, you are going to enjoy life. That thing, the way Musubiri came on my office, is what we call blue ocean strategy. And how I want all of you as couples this evening, what as Professor Lillian said, how I wish you work on blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy for Christian families means operating beyond competition, operating beyond witchcraft, operating beyond stepmothers who don't like you. It is operating as a child of God who is the one sitting in that meeting and is the one selecting you. And the one selecting in that meeting. And you're not attending that meeting. And you're not attending that meeting. But God says you are the one to do that work. In that bid, you are the one. You simply do good work. Do good quality work. If you are local and you want to put in a Mapera house in this Kampala, the horizon, which company are you going to look for? And you think how much money will local, you ask local, how much money would the local bribe you? The money which local wanted to bribe you, let me tell you a secret of really if you want a very high performance and God to pick you to do business as a couple, you simply agree with your wife that for you are going to do good work. You are going to do work with values. You are going to produce high quality work. God is going to make sure that you are operating beyond competition. And if you wanted to put a serious building in Kampala, are you going to bid? Are you going to call for bids? You are going to simply to call local and ask local whether they have time or whether they are too busy. That's what Blue Ocean Strategy is about. And that's what we want to live with you. We have been doing that, and it is paying. And we didn't want anybody to stumble. Don't stumble, don't fret. God will answer you. God cannot allow you to shame him. Except you don't realize. You continue shaming God, you continue mixing the two, you want to do both, it becomes very difficult because the Bible says God knows your plans. Jeremiah 21 what? 11. Plans to prosper you. God is not interested in your doom. God is interested in your progress. And that's what we are doing. So we wanted to stop there and Lillian can pick from there with a few testimonies and then we continue.
Praise God. I just want to add one thing. We do business together. We own a consultancy firm called Reef Consult International. But before we started that consultancy firm, Professor used to do work alone. He would do work alone, and I remember one day he told me that when I had gotten married to him, he would sleep for 1 hour, 15 minutes, doing all work alone. So when I came in as his wife, I told him, really, you cannot do work alone. You need to be supported. So that's when we grew the consultancy firm, employed other people, and we ran it together. So why have I said that? I came in to support him. And one of the things that has sustained it maybe up to this time, it is transparency. Transparency in this business. I see money coming, I see money go. There are times when we do not have work, but even when we do not have work, I have no reason for ask for very expensive things. I console that, I tell the children, these days are bad, this year is bad, they understand. So when everything is transparent, is in the open, there is really no reason to stress each other. And this has worked for us for the last so many years. Then the other thing is, in the business, we co-own it, and it is always we. It is the language we espouse in this business. So once I say these days we have money, even the children are happy. They say, now, can I make this request? Will it be honored? Is a phone, a laptop? So when it is there, definitely we honor their requests. And when it is not, when the money is not there, and you tell them there is no money, they will understand. It is easy for them to understand and know, okay, at least when things are better, we shall get what we want. So if it is co-owned with your spouse, it becomes very easy and there is no stress. Really, I've not seen any stress. We've had huge dates together, and I've shared the dates. We've known, we've prayed about it. We've said we shall, slowly by slowly we shall clear, slowly by slowly. But when it is shared, actually, you feel at peace. But I imagine if things were being done in secret, one is suffering alone, the other one is smiling, what kind of family would it be? So I think that is my contribution to your talk.
I don't know whether there's anything remaining here that is useful. Money in the Christian family, we have said. This Uganda's data, I also wanted to tell you that Uganda is a very small country. It is just $28 billion. But look at the American economy, 24.6. My God, $1 trillion. It's a very, very poor country. So once, if you want to participate in that small economy, Uganda is a third last. Actually, you are beating Burundi only and Yemen. And those are countries which have serious wars. So also you measure your seriousness. You measure your seriousness. The only two countries you are beating in wealth, it is only Burundi and Yemen. Because now per capita income in Rwanda is 1,400. Your per capita income is 706. So in order for you now to work in this small economy and your head is up, you really need to do something good. That's the message from this graph. Then, where is the money coming from in Uganda? This graph tells you that the money is coming from, this money here is coming from, you see agriculture. This agriculture has died. Especially it started dying here in 1990s years. Up to 1980 something, agriculture was still doing this agriculture to GDP. It was in agriculture up to this point, then it started, you see how it crashed, and now it is the poorest. There's no money we are getting in agriculture, it is just 23 GDP. It is telephones, and over you have been sending messages. Anybody who hasn't sent a message today, you have all sent messages. So the money we are getting in the country is from telephones, from banks, from Stanbic, Stanchart, Barclays, and Airtel and MTN. And this is very practical. If you are here and you know that your mother is working in MTN, Airtel, Stanbic Bank, put up your hand. That person is not there. But all of us, our mothers are working in the agricultural what? Sector. We shall all put our 2 hands up. So don't ask a stupid question of where you don't have money in the pocket. Don't ask those stupid questions. That's the reason. That's the reason. The sector, which is the most economically democratic, let me use the language of political economy. The sector, in other words, which would have revamped Uganda from this abyss where we are to now people respecting Uganda, and all of you are taking children to Malaysia, to London, and also people are taking children here. The way they used it to be for us who come from Kabale. We used to have children from London to study here in Kabale Preparatory School. It's just at Rugarama here. Even Amin's children were there. Professor Sibambi's children, this road and Sibambi, studied in our village in Kabale Preparatory School. The daughter of the Prime Minister. And also daughters from London. Why? Because at that time, education was very good. The government was pushing money in education, social sector. But now, growers and so on, all those things went down. And then the economy is doing very well. So when you don't see money, the reason is simple. The people who should be getting money should have been in the agricultural sector, in the cooperatives, in the Nabusoka growers, Bugis growers, in Navunanda, Ramafavi, and so on. All of these died. And the only people who are making money are the Stanbic Bank. Are your uncles there? Do you have an uncle there who owns Stanbic Bank? Put up your hand. Barclays Bank, if you have an aunt, put up your hand. Who is the owner? Share, put up your hand. So don't ask stupid what? Questions. Just questions. Then the lack of family enterprise culture. We don't have family enterprise culture here. And also, I don't know, let me leave you with this question. Whether you want to run your business with the relatives. If you are working well with your relatives, you go ahead. But relatives sometimes give us headache here. But countries where we have gone, like Thailand, like South Korea, like Singapore, those businesses are on families and relatives. Those who have been in Italy, those who have football, those in Inter Milan and so on. The people like Berlusconi, who owns Inter Milan, those football matches you see, which are even attracting people like Cristiano Ronaldo. Those people get money on family. They are banks. The banks in the entire Italy are banks on family. Relatives, son-in-law, your mother-in-law, your daughter-in-law, where your daughter is married, they come together and collect money. And Italy is the best country in the world which has the cheapest money, where the cost of money is the cheapest. And why? Because that money is a social money. It is money which you got from your mother-in-law, your daughter-in-law, whether your sister is married, or everybody. You calculate where your family is, where you come from. They are now big. So if each person got 10 million, you have already got about 500 million. And why do you go to get a loan from Stanbic Bank? Ask that question. Lack of seriousness of using our families becomes Stanbic Bank to charge you now 26% of the interest. Tell me any country in the world which charges 26%. Which business will you do and make money? And you tell you. And this is the last one, I think. Spouses abandoning homes that they are going to make money for the same homes they have abandoned. Imagine. And domestic violence, which comes from money that has come in the home. This one I've talked about. Imagine money which should have brought peace is the one which brings now domestic violence and now the money to marry another wife. Why don't then you remain poor instead? Are you going to pray for your husband to remain poor? This will be the prayer. I leave that to you. We just leave that to you. And then lastly, please make sure that as you do your businesses, you remain saved. And here we are going to give you a testimony. There are certain ministries which we want to mention here, and she knows, where we don't bid. There are certain ministries here in the government where we don't bid. No. That they give you a work of 100 million, but they want 70 million as corruption that is theirs. We said no. you do you remain, we will get consultants to do that work. For us, our God is going to give us a consulting business. Actually, we don't have much work. She's here. That's why she normally tells children, you children, these days there is no money. And you think really this experience they have read, we should not be having business? If it is true, this CV they have read, if it is true, if it is true, that these are the things that we have done, the experience we have, we should be crying of money, we should be crying of work. We are crying of work because of one animal that has eaten Uganda, which is corruption. And we actually don't bid. For us, we bid on serious projects, like National Development Plan, where I know that President Museveni is very interested in, and they don't want mediocres. That's why that one I'm there, as one of the main consultants. Because that one now they need serious people. So God will give you something serious. We just need something serious. So that one I know when I bid, I will win. That one definitely I will win. East African strategy plan, that one I will win. Even I think NDP we have won it 3 times. Yeah, one even who did the mid-term review and evaluation. It is the same person. It's actually corruption. If it is in that corruption, I am the one who is invited. Now they practice corruption in the opposite direction. Now in opposite direction. Come, professor, come. Why haven't you invited me? Why don't you invite me? The other ones? Corruption, people paid them money. But now they know that NDP, World Bank, USAID, DFID is going to ask them, this should the worker who did it. Now they don't want those questions. The very last one is that try as much as possible to involve the family. This is the message we have given you this evening. Those of you who have not been involving families, try as much as possible what have the Nuwagaba said. Try as much as possible to involve your family in the business. There is no check which Justina Ruparelia doesn't know, which gets out of Sidur's companies. You go and ask. Every check, Justina Ruparelia knows. Every check which gets out of Microsoft, Melinda Gates knows that check. And they're not Christians. So I want to challenge you. Let every check which gets out, the wife knows. And the men who are here, you'll be very surprised. When the professor is a magician who practices witchcraft. That your money will now multiply in the ways you don't know. You know, these men, they can pass at Professor Nuwagaba's house, and we're having a small meeting of a giveaway of our daughter. And you know, he will immediately give us 500,000. But this is the only money you had to pay fees for us men. That's how we behave. Of the children in the morning, school fees of the child in the morning. For us, our head, the way our heads are wired, we don't think about very many things. The way ladies think about. Can we clap for ladies? Even when we were coming, she had so many things to do, which for me, my main focus was this meeting. But one now she knew our daughter has to be picked. How do we pick up and we're not getting late? How do we do this? Who is going? For the ladies' heads are wired, and that's how God made them. That's how they are called home what? Makers. Because Baram, you know very well, for you built what? A house. But your wife now built what? Has built a home. Can you clap for these home builders who are really the wife? So why don't you put them, if they are done homes, wonders in homes, what will happen when you bring them in the businesses? Your business will be the top class business. And the world there also would want to know, people who are having businesses, you needed to know to see our meeting we had in the morning. You needed to see the beauty there, the meeting in the morning. You would only qualify to be in that meeting where we're in the morning if people know you. This is not now Worokoso. No secretive. The cards could not be secret. You would only be invited when you are known in UNRWA, in a New Vision. Like New Vision, we had Barbara Kaija, definitely. The person who qualified in New Vision definitely was Barbara Kaija, chief editor. He's the one who qualified to attend this meeting in the morning. In the judiciary, we had a Gonda Tende. He's the only one in the entire judiciary who qualified to be in our meeting in the morning. How many people do you have in the Ugandan judiciary? In the businesses in the town, it was definitely Margaret and Robert, the Seromas. Definitely, and you can clap for them if you want. These are the only ones who represented the entire Ugandan business, merchandising business. And then they invited me. I was the main speaker. And we enjoyed life in the morning. We just enjoyed life. And that's what you call blue ocean. This card, the way the card was coming, the card just doesn't come on WhatsApp. It is God who was bringing that card. Because when you reached in that meeting, you had to give a testimony of what you are doing. And the Romas told us how they are building these Roma schools and the cement, how the cement company has grown. You needed to listen to Kano Sekide and see how a family that is doing business is enjoying life. And you try that, and that's what we are living with you. And I thank you very much for inviting us.